Hi, Internet people. So this episode of Preacher, our core trio is still in hot pursuit of God and in New Orleans. But we actually start the episode with Eugene. We get an idea of what the hell is happening in hell for him. So we actually see Eugene before the accident. Well, suicide attempt, accident, yeah. And the actual story is way crazier than I thought it was. Okay, so like people blamed him for Tracy's death, or not death, she was like paralyzed, or they explained it in season 1. But they blamed him for that and then said like he did that to her because she didn't love him, and then he like shot himself. And then we learned that's totally not even true. Tracy called him because her boyfriend cheated on her with someone who was way less hot than her. And she wrote this like super detailed suicide note with a playlist and a dress she wanted to be buried in and stuff about her horse, like all of this stuff. And he like talks her down. He's like, suicide is never the option, like don't do this. And he like talks her down, she puts the gun down, he burns the note, the 15, she lists 14 pages, so I'm gonna say 14. He burns all 14, and then he goes to kiss her because he's like, he saved her, and she's like, what? No. Ew. And then goes to shoot herself. He hits the gun, or like pulls it, so it shoots top of her head instead of her mouth, and then she's like, she looks dead, like he thinks she's dead, and then she blinks, and he's like trying to put her brain back in her head. Ugh. And like the door is locked, and her mom comes home, and he starts yelling like, oh, we'll be on the set. He's like trying to jump out the window, but the window won't open, and then he like tries to like figure out what he's gonna do, and she's calling his dad, and then we don't see him shoot himself, but it happens. And then like there's no bullets. Like he goes to do it, and there's none, even though we know that they existed initially. Then it just keeps repeating itself over and over, like we keep seeing like snaps and snips and da-da-da-da, and totally hell is literally him reliving that every single day, over and over. And then like a woman comes in, like a prison guard, because everything is gray, and she reads off his number and like announces some stuff. It was in the promo image for this episode last week. So like she does some stuff and then leaves, and he's just there. Then we go to New Orleans because the trio just arrived, and they go to a bar and say they're looking for God, and the bartender's like, all 3 of you? And they're like, yeah, all 3 of us. He like takes them through this like ridiculously labyrinthine, crazy, like walkabout situation. They wind up in this room, and there's an old man who's like, after they say like looking for God, and he like pulls a curtain, and it's the woman holding a man in a dog costume, which was also in the promos for this season, and they're like, what? And they proceed to list how expensive it's going to be to play with the puppy. It's dang expensive. Like I was like, what the what? And then just like, no, we don't want that. And like Cassidy is literally like pulling money out of it. He's like, I'm gonna pay him, what? And it's so funny because I was like, I don't know, how's this finding God? But I feel like it's important though, because whoever is in the dog mask was like growling at the end, and they like closed up kind of on the inside of the mask, and I couldn't really see anything, but I feel like that means something, like who's ever in the dog costume is someone. So I don't know what, that was just so awkward. And then Cassidy and Jesse like talk about it later, but Tulip is super paranoid, because Victor is in New Orleans, and she hasn't told them about Victor. She's like on super high alert. She tells Jesse she's actually not feeling well, and she wants to leave. She's gonna go to the hotel, and then, she and Jesse like talk about the engagement, if he's mad at her, and all of this, and he's like, no, we're looking for God, like it's fine. But she goes, and then Jesse's like, no, Tulip's gonna go to the hotel, and then Cassie's like, she can't check into a hotel, we're staying with my friend Dennis, and like chases after her. He's like, I have to go with her, and so he like runs after her. He's like, I'll text you the address, and like keeps going, and then they wind up at Dennis's place, and when Dennis, like first, they meet a woman who recognizes Tulip, and Tulip was like, oh no, but it's really nice to her, and then Cassie's like, she seemed nice, or not. And then they get to Dennis's, and Dennis opens the door and proceeds to speak in rapid fire French that I assumed Cassidy understood. I'm like, what because I can't speak French. I took a class on how to read French. I don't remember any of it. But Cassidy's just like, and then he looks at Tulip and he's like, do you speak French? And she goes, no. And then he looks at Dennis and goes, so neither of us got a word of that. And then like Dennis lets him in. Dennis never speaks in English to Cassidy. And then he like talks to him, he's like, I got you these, and it's drugs, I'm pretty sure. And the guy's watching Abbott and the Three Stooges. And then like the Cassidy is talking, and doesn't even say how long they're staying, and says his other friend is coming, and da-da-da-da. And like tells Tulip like, oh, it's fine, he's happy to have us, which he didn't say. And then Tulip winds up telling him about Victor because she's so like freaked out. And he says my favorite line of the episode, which was, I'm nobody's, I'm not an idiot Irish sidekick, I'm nobody's idiot Irish sidekick. Something like that. See, it was my favorite line, I still screwed it up. But he like says that, and she tells him everything. And then Jesse is still going around to all of these bars to like figure out if he can find God. And people laugh at him. There's a very drunk couple that laughs at him, and he slams a very fancy drink into the dude's face. Everyone's making fun of him because no idea. And then he goes to this bar called Sugarfoot's, and the bartender at Sugarfoot's says, you should go to this bar and talk to the singer. And so he like goes to the bar, there's a woman singing, there's an interesting interaction where she's like flirting kind of with this guy and then tells him that Tallahassee is not the capital of Florida. Then Jesse comes over and talks to her and says like, I was told to talk to you about God, and she like freaks out and throws a drink on him, but says like, clean yourself up and meet me outside, and then throws a drink on him and leaves. So he cleans up, he follows her to, she's like getting into a taxi. The taxi then gets like kind of hit by a van full of dudes, people, since I don't know if they're all actually dudes, in white, like white clothes and like white ski masks. And they get attacked. Jesse fends them all off, grabs the lounge singer, which I believe someone said her name is Featherstone. But yeah, I'm gonna have to actually look up their names because I didn't. So he like goes with her. She has a baby and is like talking to him, and she's like, yeah, and there's this man, he told me that God was gone, and he uses the voice on her, the Genesis voice, but just to say no, and like to get her to stop kissing him, because she's like, could you get me to stop kissing you even if I really wanted to? She has like a vague Southern Marilyn Monroe accent going on, and he like gets her to stop, and then she's like, I'm gonna go to the airport, and she like gets the baby, they go to the airport, and she tells him that like the guy who told her God was gone is dead, like his body washed up in the swamp, and she leaves. Just like, okay, but like after that he like walks up to this sign that says Angelville and like voodoo and all of this stuff, and he's like super entranced by it. We don't know what it is, but I feel like it's connected to a dead dude in a swamp. It feels very connected. I also am wondering about the dead dude, if the dead dude is real, because yeah. But then Tulip calls and they're like talking, but he says that they were talking before that, and she was like, I just called to talk to you about stuff, but she doesn't tell him anything. And then he gets super involved with the poster and leaves, and she grabs her coat and tells Cassidy she's going to get cigarettes, and he's like, no, should you go alone? She's like, yeah, I'll be fine. She goes to this laundromat, needs change for 100, and literally just swaps some dude a 5, like he has a 5, she has 100, and he swaps bills, because that's all she can do. She gets change to get quarters, or she gets quarters for the cigarette machine, and is like putting them in, and then we all of a sudden hear a voice yell, get out! And like the room clears, and a ton of like big blurry figures enter the room behind her, because she's just like nonchalantly continuously putting quarters in the machine. And then it's like a ton of big dudes, one of whom has like super slick back hair, and he's like, tell Victor we got her. And so now Tulip is going to Victor, and I'm very worried. I also have no clue what is going on with Dennis at all. We also got another look at Eugene, who found out that Hitler is like in his cell block and is apparently going to be his roommate next episode. So that's fun. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and then final little bit. The singer wasn't really a singer. She's totally an angel. It turns out everyone in that van, I believe is the Grail. I'm not 100% sure. In the comics, I've like read about the different branches of heavenly bodies, but because I like don't remember them explicitly, I don't want to say the wrong one, but I know in Talking Preacher last week, they were talking about the Grail, and I'm pretty sure that the van is full of people who work for the Grail. But they bumped it up, so like upstairs knows what's going on. But yeah, though I am really worried about that baby, because apparently it was real, and she did not have it when she got in that van. So yeah, So the angels know, and this like high up branch of angels knows, which is never good. So now the Saint of Killers is still looking for Jesse, because he did not show up yet. It is a long walk from the Mumbai casino to New Orleans, I guess. And now all those angels know, so they're doomed. Like, Tulip's been grabbed by a scary dude. Cassidy is hanging out with Dennis, who has yet to speak in English, or talk to Cassidy in a language she knows Cassidy understands at all. And in the comics, Dennis is a sketchy dude. Like, he is not okay. So I'm really worried about Dennis. And then the angels, and there's just a lot happening, and I'm excited to see this voodoo thing though, the like Angelville thing. I'm interested, I'm very interested. So there we go for this Preacher recap. Preacher is back next week too. There's no gap for this one, I don't think they take a hiatus at all. I could be wrong, but so far they haven't had one. It's very early in the season, but a couple shows took this week off because of the 4th of July. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe. You can find me on Twitter at Kleffnotes, on my blog, kleffnotes.wordpress.com. I write for the Nerdy Girl Express, thenerdygirlexpress.com, and or on their Snapchat, the Nerdy Girl EXP. Bye, Internet people.